And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quaddie Poddy. Cashy, joined by Nick, live at Mock HQ, ready to get stuck into a massive Golden Eagle and Derby day. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Cox Plate last week was an all right watch. I thought it let me down in the end, I guess. I thought it'd be a bit of a better spectacle in the end, but it was cool to see the track get torn apart after. It's the first thing I wanted to bring up.
I'm jealous I wasn't there. We were meant to be there and we weren't, but oh well, we'll be there for the first running at the new one. But I mean, I think it was so cool to see what they tried to get away with.
Someone took the winning post, the mirror.
Yeah, they tried to take the mirror and got told, okay, no.
Did you see that video? It was actually really funny.
Yeah.
The guy was like, you just want it. You just want it,
you just want to be yourself.
You just want it, don't you?
I thought the funny thing was the individual people that was grabbing one little stake from the rail, or they were grabbing 30 centimetres of the rail, and then the group of lads that decided to lift up the entire last 50 metres of the rail and try and walk out the course. How are you getting that home, lads? How are you getting that in the
I was
Uber? How are you
thinking
getting
that
that on the
as
tram?
well. It must be one arm out the window on top of the roof or something. I don't know, but it was cool to see. They probably should have made that a bit more specific about what you could and couldn't take.
Because I saw a lot
more.
That's not screwed down, you can take.
I saw a lot more things get turned away than got taken in the end. So the winning post was hilarious. I laughed so hard at that. He literally pulled it out of the case, and he goes, you could tell he's so drunk. And he goes, "Nah, you're lying. Hey, you're just a random, and you just want it for yourself." So funny.
I'll ask you a quick question. Say if Rose Hill did get sold, and they were tearing it down, what are you trying to take from Rose Hill?
I don't even know. The Wink statue.
I know that they wouldn't let me, but I'd immediately get turned away at the door. But I'm going to be that guy that tries to climb up and take one of those little jockey statues.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe one of those little jockeys, but they definitely would not.
They would definitely keep that and put them somewhere else. But I'd be that guy that try and took one of them.
Golden Eagle Day this weekend, mate. Away from Rose Hill as well.
Yes.
It's disappointing. Hot opinion here, and I know you might not like it because we have talked about it in the past. I'm under the impression now, if they were gonna get rid of Rose Hill, I agreed that they shouldn't have, but now that they are getting rid of all the races there, I'm sitting here well, what's the point in having it there? If you're gonna steal all the races from the track, Golden Eagle Day specifically, it's a big one. I think if the slipper goes, I don't know.
I feel like that's the whole point.
That's what they're doing. I think it's going, and there's not much we can do about it.
Look, I think it is going to be the saga that continues on for years to come. I don't think it's been this flash in the pan of the last sort of 14, 16 months where, all right, we got rid of it. They can't sell it now. We voted it out. I feel like that is going to be a thing that is going to continue to be rumoured. It's going to be a thing that gets continued to be discussed. I feel like there's going to be another vote in the next 12 months because once Racing New South Wales comes in and apparently they also want to maybe off it as well, I feel like this isn't the last we've heard of the whole Rose Hill getting sold debacle.
Yeah, I'm kind of just stuck at the point now. Is I didn't want to see it go, but the more races that they're just getting rid of, there's no race days going there at all.
Apart from Slipper now.
Yeah. Just get rid of it. I say if you can sell it for enough, they'll get so much money for it and they can pump it into making Randwick better.
After they pay off all their debts.
How much debts do they have?
I don't know the exact financials, but I know it's a lot. That's why Racing New South Wales told them to give us your financials, otherwise we're taking over. Because that's the whole reason I think they wanted to sell it in the first place.
Well, I don't know. So, look, there's a lot of things. I think the Everest is in a good spot right now and they're looking to integrate it into bigger things. Plus, obviously, the government coming out during the week might have been last week, but we didn't touch on it, that they can hold more events there now, which is going to be big for the ATC. And I think there's a lot of potential for what they can do there. A lot of like concert things that they can hold on.
It used to be a big festival spot. I remember a few of older people I know saying that, like, yeah, we never came for races, but we'd always come for the big festivals that they'd put on.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's lot of potential there. So it's definitely a good thing. I don't know why they banned it, to be honest.
Probably council. Council's always getting in the way.
But yeah, we weren't even supposed to talk about that, but I wanted to bring it up because I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, get rid of it if you can get some money, because like surely they'd get enough. Like I understand things and stuff, so there's a lot of horses have to go somewhere. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's like I said. I think we'll move on, but it is the conversation that is going to continue to be had, and I just. So let's go back to the track that has been officially torn down, Moonee Valley. I think it was an appropriate way to end it. Unreal Cox Plate, despite the fact that you could have the conversation, would won it, would Sir Delius have won it. I think at the end of the day, woulda, coulda, shoulda, we're big on like hindsight is beautiful in hindsight. You know what I mean? Like you can say anything like that, but at the end of the day, that's the field we had. That's the race they produced. And maybe it wasn't as thrilling as Vesestina winning by 8 lengths last year, but it was still a down-to-the-wire classic Cox Plate. You know, Buckaroo now looks primed for a Melbourne Cup. Treasure, the moment, probably gets off fraud watch, as we'll discuss in a minute. There were all the arguments that if Aliana got out, she would have stormed over the top of them. Nepotism, confirmed fraud, should have been paying $100, was a speed bump. And then just all the narratives and conversations that come out of Cox Plate, just as they always did, happened again this year.
The only thing, I just think it just let down because in the end, it was a bunch of out-of-form horses racing at the end of the day. That's what it kind of looked like in the end. And although the field looked all right, they were just all running not their best, I think. And I don't know what the times really look like, but you could just tell, like, I think at a lot of Treasure's best, at Via's definitely at her best, at Eliana's best. I think Buckaroo is the only one that ran at best. You know what I mean? So a lot of horses off par. That's the only disappointing part I really had, which I guess it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah, I was stoked, though, to see just Via come home and win, though. Like J-Mac, 4 straight Cox Plates on 3 different horses. Unreal scenes. Like, really, you got to just salute a champion. And, you know, as I said last week, it's a grand final race. Waller's a grand final trainer. J-Mac's a grand final jockey. Via's a grand final horse. And, I mean, that came to the forefront on race day. And whether she retires now or goes autumn, it's going to be, you know, she's set now. Her legacy is set. She's a 2-time Cox Plate winner. That rarely ever happens. 2 years in a row as well. That rarely ever happens. So, I mean, can't discredit her now. She dropped off a little bit, but she stood up when the time matters and, you know, winners win in the end. Well, let's go through the horses that didn't stand up on the day. Let's just get stuck straight into fraud watch.
We've got a lot to go through, I think.
Look, I reckon, so I'll be the first one. Treasure, you've earned your spot off here. And now I'll hand it over to you because you are the man with much better handwriting.
Yep.
And here's a couple of names I want you to throw on there for me, please. Antino's going straight on there. Didn't pull up lame. No abnormalities in the vet report. So was there to win. Everyone was on him. It reminds me a lot of a Gringotts, and the reason we put Gringotts on there was everyone was saying it's his race to lose. How is he not favourite over Vesestina? And then Vesestina just won anyways, and Gringotts put in a poor run that day, and Antino put in a shocker of a run on Grand Final Day, and he's now continued to do that the last few preps now on Grand Final Day. He just hasn't rocked up, so he's certainly on there. Look, I'm going to put Point and Shoot on there.
Yeah.
And then immediately cross him out as well. So he's on fraud watch, and then is immediately a fraud. Show the camera. So we've definitely got Antino's on there, and Point and Shoot is already
There you go.
a fraud. Any others we want to put on there? Others have suggested Aliana.
I think Eliana should be
Get her on there. I want to fill that board up, man.
Yeah, I think she needs to go on there. Is that how you spell it?
Yes.
I think she goes on there. She can definitely.
She's had her excuses, but she still hasn't won, despite being.
Sure, Wolf is a great example of what Eliana would have to do.
And then
People saying Charmstone.
I'm happy to put Charmstone on there. 2-time Group 1 winner that, I mean, you can start to chalk them up to a flukes now. Like, how is she not going on with it every time she wins one?
Kill off.
Take kill off just because he's done this spring.
He's not in the... Yeah, we could put shit horses on there if we wanted to. He's just a shit horse. So who am I putting? Charmstone.
Charmstone. Get Charmstone on there. And then, well, let me have a look if anyone commented anything else. Because we put it out to social media.
Within the law, I'm happy to wait for within the law.
I mean, within the law just can't draw a barrier. A lot of people are saying Middle Earth, which is interesting because what we're going to be doing in a couple of minutes. Gilded Water. Yeah, put Gilded Water on there.
No.
Really? You don't reckon? You just reckon it's shit horse?
It only won like 2 starts ago.
And then got busted by Jamie's run and then couldn't back it up. Fair enough. And then here's one that I actually do like the conversation around. It was on TikTok. Let me get this comment up by one of our long-term subscribers here. Because I want to hear your thoughts on it because you're a big fan of this horse. Lady Shenandoah, if she doesn't win this weekend, okay? I think that it's a classic case of what happened to Zugotcha. He says it's a sprinter that's not a sprinter, but it's been made to sprint because of the nature of the Everest. Sick of seeing good 1,400-meter horses retrained and brought back to the sprint trips coming off a freshen because that's where the money is. D-Day for her on Saturday. Otherwise, I suggest next prep we'll see her train differently, which is fair. Lady Shenandoah, off that first run as a sprinter, everyone's like, oh, she is a sprinter. She should piss in the Manikato and be a threat in the Everest. Lost the Manikato in spectacular fashion and then didn't run a drum in the Everest. So, yeah, I'm happy to put her on as well. So, that's how Fraud Watch stands. And fuck you, dude. How is Osmosis on here, man? That's crazy. That's so rude. But we got Charmstone on there. We've got Gringotts is still on there. Antino's on there. Woderton's been crossed out, officially a fraud. Vauban's officially crossed out, fraud. Now it's going to win the Melbourne Cup. Point and Shoot went on Fraud Watch and immediately becomes a fraud.
You can I say, rob out the ones that we've crossed out now that we've spoken about them because this is our Fraud Watch. We don't need to keep frauds on there.
Fair enough. And then Aliana goes on Fraud Watch and Charmstone goes on Fraud. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's Lady Shan down the bottom. Okay, we'll wipe those off for next week to leave some new, fresh spots.
Yeah.
For fraud. So keep them coming. Keep the comments coming of who should be on Fraud Watch, guys.
Because they're not frauds just yet, what we're saying, except for Osmosis. The ones that are there can work their way off like we saw Shell Wolf do.
Yes, 100%. No, so yeah, it was very interesting that people said that Middle Earth should go on Fraud Watch because we're about to give a ring to one of the owners of Middle Earth to discuss its Melbourne Cup chances. So let's just give Tom a ring here and see if he picks up for us. And
Tom a Melbourne boy, do we know?
Get his thoughts and we'll find out. I actually haven't asked him. We'll also ask him what he thinks of the Fraud Watch comments. See if he picks up.
Hey, boys.
Hello, mate. Are we coming through loud and clear?
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Beautiful. Have you been watching the show?
I have, yeah. I'm tuned in.
Okay, well then you should know. There's been some Fraud Watch allegations being made to your horse, Middle Earth. Let's just get your quick thoughts on that before we go anywhere deeper.
Look, it can be justified. The prep was a little bit poor, and there were some expectations on her in the Cup, of course. But I'd not say she's anywhere near a fraud. She's distant. She can. She's a winner.
Okay,
love that, mate. Good answer.
Yeah, I like it. Backing in the horse.
How are you feeling, mate? Cup week is next week. So how are you feeling going into the race yourself?
I'm a bit nervous. I think that's obvious. But I think there's a bit of optimism as well. I'm excited. I think there's a chance. If anyone's lining up, you're a chance. We saw that Knight's Choice last. So I think
That's a great
excited.
point. If Knight's Choice can win, who's to say Middle Earth can't win?
Are you a Melbourne boy?
Yeah, I'll be there. No
Yeah,
worries.
nice. So I was saying to Cashy as well, the weather as well. Any horse will be in it for this cup, so you never know as well.
Yeah, how does he go in the wet?
So he's an import from UK, obviously. So they tend to run quite well in the wet. He hasn't had much experience in Australia running on tracks, but I think in his times in England, he was pretty strong on heavy tracks and soft tracks. So if the rain come, then I don't think it'll be too much for him. Maybe an advantage, but we'll just have to wait, I think.
Yeah, nice. Well,
So what's the word out of the camp? Is Kieran confident in it? Is he saying that it's got a chance, but it's not his top chance? Is there any mail you can get from Kieran?
I was talking to him on Saturday at Moonee Valley, and he ran really well. Like, we were quite a bit nervous, kind of worried because it was his first time with the blinkers. Obviously, Moonee Valley is quite a track that you need to be suited to run well.
Yep.
Straight, which is definitely unsuited. He turned. If you watch the replay, ran really well kind of up the side of the track. He picked up into that speed of the run and then kind of lost it a bit around the turn. Is what Ethan was saying well, is he kind of lost it coming around the bend and then really picked up again at the straight, which kind of got him that play. So I think the wide back at Flemington, the longer straight will definitely suit him more. He also has got he's had his best at Flemington earlier this year in the Cup Prelude, which he really, really won well from a pretty draw, and it wasn't really a lot going away, and he kind of just found a way to win, which is also very positive. So he can, get over the distance and the track. It's kind of just about both together.
Okay.
Love that,
there
mate.
you go, mate. We'll be rooting for you come Cup Day. For anyone that's interested, our Cup preview is at midday live on the Mock Sports YouTube. We're going through every single runner, and I haven't decided if he's a pretender or contender yet, but I'm hoping.
Oh, he's a contender, mate.
I'll give you a contender for sure, mate. For you, Tom. Loving that.
Yeah, love it, mate. So you also mentioned you've got a couple more in the yard. Juju Kibo. What's going on with him? Has he gone away now? Is he coming back in autumn? What's the plans with Juju Kibo?
He will be done for the spring. He ran really well. They definitely exceeded every expectation. He got a couple of wins at Rose Hill that were very hard in the track that was quite ordinary over the spring. And Metrop, I think he was your tip, Cashy. He ran really well.
And I genuinely,
honestly,
I thought he was gone for all money early in the race and went, oh shit, there goes my ticket.
I know.
And then all of a sudden he just kicked through and went, oh my God, I'm going to win here.
Yeah.
Great run.
Yeah, I know. We were watching and we were like, he's going to win. Like, this is insane. But yeah, he ran really well. That was kind of his last hurrah, and he's going to come back and hopefully target the Sydney Cup in the autumn.
Awesome, mate.
That's good to hear. Put your futures bets on now if you can find a Sydney Cup market for Juju Kibo. Middle Earth into Juju Kibo, Melbourne into Sydney Cup. Could be a multi.
It's going to pay dividends.
Paying some mortgages off,
Pay
that's
some
for sure.
Mortgages. All right, mate. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Worries.
We love getting the insights.
Best of luck to you, mate.
Thanks,
and I hope
boys.
Regardless, you have a good day on Tuesday, mate. It'll be real fun.
I'm sure I will.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Good one.
All right, mate. That's unreal. He's got a bit of confidence about the Middle Earth in the Melbourne Cup. So like I said, 12 p.m. midday this Sunday. Tune in live. We'll be going through the race, pretenders from contenders, and hopefully, he gets through the deck. And how good would that be if he actually wins? Imagine getting him on this time next week after a Melbourne Cup win. He'd be going nuts.
Yeah, we'll need to make sure he has a lot to say. We'll call him back for sure next week. But yeah, looking forward to it, mate. 2 pods in the week. How good?
Double pod. All right, let's get into the hotline. There's quite a few to get through this week, actually. But we'll start off with the man, the myth, the legend, Stocks Bloodstock makes his return.
G'day, boys. Jordan from Stocks Bloodstock here. No hotline call for me last week because I was a bit depressed about Wotan going out to the paddock. We moved this weekend, Golden Eagle, into the Derby. The biggest, I'm not going to say it, the M word, Autumn Glow into Observer.
Oh, no.
Never seen anything like it. It's it's nearly free money at this point, guys.
Stocks.
But yeah, have a good weekend on the punt, guys. Let's go Autumn Glow.
Who stops more horses, Benny Scarf or Stocks Blood Stocks?
Yeah. I don't know. I like that multi though.
I love that multi as well, but I think we know who to blame if it doesn't come off. This is a race that. Not this race day. It's next week. I remember my famous better than bank interest Animo into Nature Strip. That was Champions Day, so that one went belly up because neither of them won. But I do like that multi. But we know who to blame. Jake.
Hey boys, it's Jake again here. Just one thing, before the races where I was at home watching the Cox Plate and they do the pick of the yard, people that try and pick the horses, and they said Antino looks beautiful, mate. Well, if Antino looks beautiful, it's got to run better than that. Any update on the horse, mate? Put a lot of money on that horse, and you knew it was gone from the 600 meter where it was just dead. Obviously not the run it needed. But mate, bookies should give the money back on that horse.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it last week. It was the only way Antino was winning that race if it was a stop start in the like it had been at Moonee Valley the last couple starts. Yeah, I didn't think it was ever going to win. It was obviously never going to play out.
As soon as Via said,
that.
"All right, game on," I expected Antino to go with it, and it just didn't. No, didn't pull up lame. Didn't pull up with anything. It just bad run. And I think honestly, with that horse, it's had it a couple times now. Gets to grand final day and just went over to Hong Kong, did nothing. Yeah, that's all I can really say with that horse. Riley.
Hey boys, it's Riley. Haven't caught up before. Big fan of the potty, but just looking at the markets for the Derby. Observer, $2. More rule. Should we just absolutely unload on that? Because how is that paying $2? It's gonna lap this field, get to the front. It's all over. But I'm just keen to hear your boys' thoughts on if it's a moral. Will it be your best bet again, boys? Let's hear it.
It's not a moral purely because 2,500 meter race, they've never gone that distance. You never know what's going to happen, but it is as close as you can probably get.
We'll talk about it a bit later as well.
Yeah, how funny would it have been if when he eased it down 100 metres out and J-Mac got stuck into Providence if he'd crossed the line first? Mark Zahra would have been looking at months of suspension.
Oh, for sure.
He copped a fine already, but if he lost that, oh my God.
He would have got done. People would have thought he was literally cheating.
Yeah, there would have been a big investigation into that. I'll leave Pilkington for later because he's got the mail on Alabama State.
Loves that Pilko.
Ballin for neck.
Hey boys, Empire Rose. I think the race that she's in, Idle Flyer. All right, if she wins, I will do a backflip. I've never attempted a backflip in my life, but I will be doing a backflip, and I'll send it to you on Instagram. I'll DM you. If she wins backflip, I reckon she'll win as well. $6.50. She had a great last run. Yeah, I reckon she's got this. So backflips on if she wins.
I was confused. I was confused whether he was saying backflips because he thought is no chance of winning, or if he was on it. But yeah, love that, mate.
So that's the horse that the guy did a backflip for on Everest Day.
Yeah.
And then we got Matt Gifford. Shout out to Giffo. He owns some of the Capitalist horse as well.
I love that.
Sorry, Captivant.
What's going on, boys? Giffo here. Hope he's had plenty of winners on the weekend. Just got a tip for you on Saturday. My brother's horse is getting his first crack at Saturday grade at Randwick. Race 5. It's a bit of a rough chance. Majorian, number 4. Go watch this last race. Looks like it was the first thing beat with 600 to go. Starts whipping it and still won. But yeah, hopefully gets up. So have a little sprinkle on it. And yeah, enjoy.
There you go. Mate. Thank you, Giffo. Appreciate that, mate. Hopefully the Captivant gives you some success soon. Name coming soon as well. The naming process has begun. And then we got Corey Thompson, Mr. Apocalyptic.
Hey lads, before I start, I just want to apologise for the language last week. I know I knew a couple people were not happy with that, so yeah, sorry for that. But anyway, as we know, Apocalyptic lost and has now gone into spelling for a couple of weeks. That's okay, guys. It's all good. Because let me tell you about another Michael Freeman horse racing this weekend. Transcend. Race 3 at Randwick. Tim Clark on board. No one's stopping it. No one is stopping it. They've got J-Mac in the race on a Chris Waller horse. Who cares? Who cares? Transcend. Coming straight from New Zealand to Randwick. 2 wins in 3 races. No one's stopping it. That's all I got to say this week. Nice and simple. Mark Zara, still don't like you. Yeah.
was a
Well, there
lot
you
nicer.
go. Love's a big My Racehorse guy. We should reach out to them and see if we can get him some like My Racehorse gear because that guy he's their biggest customer. Fair plays to you, Corey. Congratulations on the horse, and hopefully good luck is in order for you. All right, listen to questions. Again, a lot of you asking thoughts on our different horses. We're going to touch on that. So if we didn't answer your question, that's why.
Straight away, Corey Thompson again. My dumbass jokered nepotism 3 times. Well,
wow, that's for those wondering, the tipping comp Joker gets you double points. He's jokered nepotism all 3 runs, and he's gotten squat for it. Shit horse. That's all I'm saying.
what's the boys' fave from the Kiwi punter? Fave all-time Kiwi horse? Probably Imperatriz.
Yeah. I mean, pretty sure Very Elegant was from New Zealand, technically, but yeah, more of a Kiwi coming over. Yeah, Imperatriz.
Bo Simmons, favorite name you've seen a horse have? Ooh,
favorite what? Sorry, name. Best named horse. I'm a big sucker for the human named horses. I love a good Rob or Brad running around.
Yeah. Just like the Winston Hills, like that's good. Like,
yeah.
It's clearly someone that lives in Winston Hills is named it that. Like stuff like
Gerringong,
that.
like I like the very simply named ones rather than you can get creative, but yeah, I really like the simple names.
Yeah, I think for me it's got to be Democracy Manifest. Has got to be my favorite horse name. I
like
think.
Like that a lot.
Adrian Malamase says, "Love the pod, boys. Is Observer, Autumn Glow, and Tentaris the multi of the day?"
Geez, the favourites, the Autumn Glow, Tentaris, Observer multi. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on it. We're probably going to be on it.
Yep.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Lachlan Williams, winners win, baby. Prive Jenny, absolute moral. Come on, cuz. I love that. She'll do better in Melbourne for sure. She'll do better against this field, to be honest. I think a lot of these horses are untried at the good grade. I think Fangirl won't challenge her. Fangirl will probably go towards the back of the field.
Yeah, Fangirl won't try to match motors with her.
So it depends if anyone matches her. If no one matches her, she'll win. So I think she'll do a lot better here. Idle Fly and Empire Rose. Wait and see. We'll have a bit of a chat about that later. Does Point and Shoot go on Fraud Watch?
Yep.
Charlie, yep, we got that done. Jasper asks the Coolmore or the Cashmore. This is your race, Cashy, no pressure.
I know. I was going through the race earlier and I actually was feeling the pressure. I've not failed to tip the winner in every edition that we've ever previewed. And I know that with a great power comes great responsibility. I need to find the winner and go 5 for 5 here.
Does Animo just simply win the recent Cox Plate?
I mean,
Probably.
Prime Animo, yeah, but I mean, again, hindsight.
Jake Morrow, do you think Bella's win in the Everest in 2024 was crazy impressive or just lucky?
Crazy impressive. Wide the whole trip, dug in.
Yeah,
only female to ever win the race. It was unreal.
It's
Great run.
Going for 5 years, mate. You can't say it like that.
Yeah, but you know. What I mean.
Yeah, impressive, I think. And someone's proposed a trade to me in my fantasy league. Have a look at that a bit later. Hatos asks, "G'day lads, what is the sickest beat you have seen in your time watching horse racing?"
I'm just going to sit back. I know what you're going to say. I'm going to get out of the
Valley?
way here.
What do you think?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know you're going to get quite fiery about it too.
I forget what was it called?
Growing Empire.
Growing Empire. Oh, God. That pissed me off. I had so much money on that horse.
I've never heard Nick angrier to me on the phone.
Craig Williams. I was at the track. Everyone knew it was a moral. He looked like he eased the thing up, literally like Observer. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I'm angry about that. Isaac asks, what do you think of flattening the curve at the Melbourne Cup?
Again, all Melbourne Cup horse questions, we'll skip them because that'll be for this Sunday, midday, live, be here.
Yep, and Max and Lachlan, you also asked a question about the Cup. We'll do that later. Cody Maggs, when She's Assault wins, do the backflip like the guy in the tab hat on Everest Day.
Done.
And Rory, thoughts on linebacker this weekend? We'll get into that a little bit later, mates.
Yes, let's get stuck straight into Randwick as a whole. The weather is predicted to be fine on Saturday, so we will have drying conditions on Saturday, but a lot of rain today. Bit of rain potentially around for the next couple of days as well. So that's enough to tip us at least into soft 5, you'd think. Potentially soft 6. I don't think anything worse than that.
Really? It's been pretty wet the last 2 days.
So you're tipping wetter than a soft 6.
Is it meant to rain tomorrow and Friday?
It's meant to be a lot less rain. And it's meant to be no rain at all and maybe even sun out on Saturday.
Oh, okay. I
reckon soft 6 is worst case.
If it was like this for the next couple of days, I'd say it's a soft 7 for sure.
The reason I say it is because before this week, there's been piss all rain in Sydney. So the track should be very dry.
The golf course needed a drink this week.
Yeah, very true.
No golf today.
Rail in true position as well. So it should be as fair can get. You know, just the best horse on the day with the best conditions. Hopefully they're all able to make ground, especially because as you're about to find out, I've tipped a lot of back markers. So race 1, 1500 metre benchmark 78. Interesting race here. A lot of nothing horses on paper, mate. Also, a nothing Japanese horse that's come over to keep Panja Tower company. It's the travelling mate that's just apparently they're besties and he wasn't going over here without him. So he's been thrown into a benchmark 78. You rarely see a Japanese import in a benchmark 78, but that's what we've ended up here. I've settled with Chikama. Nice little colt for the Pride Yard that won last start at a short price at 59 kilos. Drops 7 kilos here all the way to 52 and should not be too fussed if the track still has juice in it. Happy to go on it at $5.50.
Yeah. I'm going to be with the favourite here. Rodder Giller, $3.60, fourth first up at Warwick Farm. Was good enough for me. But yeah, pretty dead race to start off the day, mate.
As we certainly don't leave Asana out of your exotics, though, in case the Jap just comes out and is Japanese. I don't know what else to say. Take us to the second.
Race 2 at the 1400, an even more boring race. You got the Highway Class 3, of course. I don't even know who I want. This is a pretty open field. I'll go with some value, I guess. I'll go with... That's not what I was going to say. Concoction. Yeah, number 8.
Concoction.
That one.
It's becoming one of our listeners' favourite things, you reading out horses' names.
Who said that apart from your girlfriend?
I was going to say it was my girlfriend.
Yeah, there you go. I knew straight away. Concoction for me, $10 for the win. 2 wins on the trot from 3 starts. Yeah, it's a pretty open field. Won't be betting on this race on the day for sure.
She still goes on about, I don't know if we've touched it on the pod. Have we talked about how you called She's Got Pizzazz, She's Got Pizzas?
I don't care.
I'm on war paint. Huge win last start, coming all the way from the back, very wide as well, but still swooped them. Drops some weight here and jumps up a couple hundred meters. Does best work in soggy conditions. 23 to win, $5.75. Highway, anything can happen. Let's have a crack. Race 3, 1300 meter benchmark 78. Market has the race in 2 here with Transcend, as was discussed earlier with Corey there, and Jellylicious holding the top spots. I'm with Jellylicious. Well, Jellylicious has been really well placed this prep. He's gone bang, bang, bang. 3 on the trot there for Jellylicious. Happy to get behind her to grab a 4th straight. Has a tricky barrier and should get back, but that's just how she won last start, so I'm not too concerned there.
Yeah, I'm taking Transcend. Going for 3 on the trot here. Let's have a look. Timmy Clark on board. Race number 4. Your race.
That one.
Oh, true.
Tip off.
I was gonna say that's your race.
Yeah. 4 Pillars. Oh, I mean, I've tipped it a couple times.
It's only because your horse raced in the 4 Pillars.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
was
only reason.
back in the day, highly desired. Shout out to that horse.
I don't care about if you've tipped winners in it.
Thanks, man.
We all know who I'm on in that race, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you on the same?
Yeah, we'll get Pilco's thoughts later. Race 5, 2,000 metres. Another open race here. But I've sided with another back marker. United Kingdom, Black Booker of mine. I've ridden most of its career. Served me well at midweek races going each way on it because it's rarely away from the finish. Now it's time to have another crack at Saturday grade. It ran in this exact race last year, and I feel like I tipped it in this exact race last year, but it lost to State of America that day and came 4th. So I'm happy to be on him here at $3.60 to go a few better.
Yep, I'm going with Harlow Mist here. Second place behind a Jeter last start is good form for me to go off, as you'll see why a little bit later. But yeah, Harlow Mist at $6 is good enough for me as we move into race number 6, benchmark 78, 1,100 meter race. Interesting one, this one. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a value chance out of this race for sure, but I had to stop with something that's a little bit shorter, and it's going to be Brave One for me. Great form, has won at Rose Hill nicely. Twice the last 2, and then $3.40. So first up, should get it done.
Look, another race, another Chris Waller and... No, this isn't Chris Waller, sorry. I was going to say Chris Waller J-Mac combo favourite, but this is a Bjorn Baker and J-Mac favourite. I'm all over J-Mac today. Backmarkers and J-Mac, I'm fingers crossed. This could be the winning formula for Golden Eagle Day. Doesn't ride for Bjorn very often, does J-Mac. He's successful when he does. Rides at a 24% win rate. So just about every 4 times he rides for Bjorn, he gets a winner. And I'm hoping we get that here with I Stole a Merc at $2.50. We skip all the way to race 10 because 7, 8, 9 are in the tip-off. Take us there, mate.
1,300 metres, benchmark 78 to end us here. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Long listeners of the pod will know I'm on Polyglot. Same reasons as I have been the last 3 or 4 weeks. Consistent horse. Just hasn't got it done yet. Can get it done in this last race here.
I would usually be on Polyglot, but I promised myself the last time would be the last time. So I'm going to cover it in the quaddie in case I miss it because you just know it's going to win now that I've jumped off. I'm going on Verbil or Verbal, however you pronounce it. Never put a foot wrong in its career. Loves the conditions, loves the distance. Gets one of the world's best jockeys in Tom Marquand on. It's well weighted.
Yeah, can't ride in Australia though.
Yes, he can. He's one of the ones that can ride in Australia. I'm big on that. I think Tommy Marquand can definitely ride in Australia. Aussie Tom, they call him for a reason. Happy to have a crack each way at $11 to win, $3.25 to place. So, very, very quick edition of the Randwick Rundown because we have a stacked show still to come. We have 7 big races in the tipping comp.
This is the tip-off right here. This week is the tip-off.
It sorts the men from the boys. If you want to win the tipping comp, this is it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay? This is it. Like, this is what is going to separate you from 100th spot to first spot. And you can jump 100 spots this week because in this 10-day period is about half of the races in the competition. There's 7 this weekend. There's another 5 next weekend, I believe. Obviously, you've got Cup and Oaks in the middle of them. It's a big, big week for punting. Obviously, we're going to go through the Golden Eagle runner by runner, but let's touch on the 6 other races first in depth. We've got Randwick Race 4, the 4 Pillars Midway. Dropped off in notoriety in the last few years. It did become a thing because the Kosciuszko was just going so well. They're like, hey, how about we do that for the Midway and put on a big money race for it? And they had still the slot holder thing and they had all that. But now it's just a regular Midway that's just worth a lot of money. So you can say who you're on first because we know who you're going to be on.
Yeah, I gave it away last, as we were talking about a race earlier. Ajita for me, value for sure. I think there's a lot of value to be had in this race. Last start unforgiving, but the race before was a great start and just drops back in the distance, which I think it'll do a lot better in as well. So Ajita for me.
Look, I'm on Alabama State. Everyone knew that was coming. And Pilco's got his mail that I've alluded to a couple of times. Let's hear it.
Hi, fellas and punters alike. Pilco here. You're probably keen to hear about Alabama State for the weekend.
Oath.
I think I was slightly misquoted on this podcast a few weeks ago when he ran. I did actually think he had a sticky barrier and he was off the map and he was going to have to go back. But unfortunately, he jumped too well to go back, sat 3 wide, no cover, overdid it, pulled a shoe. So put a line through that start. First up run was good, just got a bit tired late. Finished second to the favourite in this race. Drawn perfect in barrier 2 this weekend, as opposed to 18 of 20 in the same race last year, where he managed to still finish 4th, beating 3 parts of a length. I think we've got the best 3 kilo claiming apprentice going at the moment on board, and Sienna Grima. And he should get the run of the race from where he's drawn. Should sit behind the speed or a little bit further back as he likes to, get some cover, and I'll be telling her not to get a rush of blood to the head. There's plenty of apprentices riding in this race, and there might be a lot of pressure in the race given the amount of money on the line, so she can just bide her time and hopefully be too strong. And also, while I'm here, keep an eye out for Pretty Tabby next week. You can also put a line through her last start. Similar situation. Ended up 3 wide, no cover, overdid it. But she's humming. The two of them galloped together on the course proper on Monday at Hawkesbury. And I was particularly pleased with the way she's going. So just one to keep an eye out for, especially if she ends up in the Midway at Rosehill next weekend, seeing as all the good Midway horses are running this weekend. That one I'm hoping is a little softer, and she's been third over the course and distance not too long ago. Just want to keep an eye out for. Best of luck, punters.
Unreal.
If
Pilko.
that doesn't rev you up and want you to back Alabama State, I don't know what does, honestly.
Now, Pilko, I apologise. I know you're probably mucking out your boxes right now because you told us once that's what you do when you listen to the Quaddie Poddy. You get all of the stable work done. If I ever misquote you again, I will personally come and muck your boxes out for you because I would.
What do you mean by that?
I would never misquote you on purpose, mate. I'm apologising. I'll come shovel some horse shit for you if I ever do it again. I promise.
Now he's just gonna say that you did.
Yeah, true. All right, we get into race 7, the Russell Balding Stakes. Used to be called the Winners Stakes, so this would typically be called the Bella Nipotina Stakes, but they decided to name it after a few of racing's figures. We had that discussion last year, how silly I thought that was. We're not going to go over it again. But it's all of the horses that either should have been in an Everest and then the ones that are backing up from an Everest. So what are your thoughts, mate? Look, just take us through that field real quick.
You got Briasa, Jimmy Star, War Machine, Private Eye doing well as well. Rothfire, Iona Merck, Strauss, Waterford, Golden Mile, Jetta Bill, Airman, Lady Shan, Marzu, With Your Blessing, Cold Crusher, Amor Victorious, Caballas, Felix, Majestic, and Fearson. Look, straight away, obviously there's some good form to go off with the Everest. And Jimmy Star, Briasa, and even Lady Shan, they all weren't far behind Kying Rising, who was amazing. Like, what? Let me have a quick look. Lady Shenandoah finished 7th place, 2.3 lengths off the win. So, look, there's a lot to go through. I think it's going to be a good race. War Machine was probably the only one that was probably a bit more disappointing, but finished 10th, but only, again, 3.5 lengths off.
Yeah.
So, it's not a lot in it. Good form to go off. I think Jimmy Star is your obvious favourite after running out of his skin. I think did well beyond what I thought he would from that barrier. Briasa probably was a little bit disappointing, but I'm going to stick with Lady Shenandoah. The outside barrier worries me a little bit, but I think can get it done, and this will be the last chance for her to get off Fraud Watch. I think if this doesn't work, they're definitely just going to go back to the middle distances. I think she would have been really well suited to a Golden Eagle.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Well, I mean, like, Autumn Glow is Autumn Glow. Like, let's not discredit that. She's a massive star. But for the potential of the amount of Waller girls and Waller horses in general that could have ended up in a Golden Eagle, the fact that it's only her, really, when you could have had a Lady Shenandoah, you could have had an Aliana as well, you could have had an Angel Capital. The list goes on with the amount of talented 4-year-olds he has. And unfortunately, we've got like probably the best one and then a bunch of backups rather than just the whole group. That would have been an unreal field. And unfortunately, we've been left with probably the worst Golden Eagle field ever. But I mean, we'll touch on that in a little bit. I'm on Jimmy Star with confidence as well. The way that he actually had the intent to go forward rather than go back, put him into the race. He was no chance going back, and they just went, you know what, we're just going to push up and we're going to try and match it with Cutting Rising. Couldn't, but stuck on really, really well. Ended up 1.5 lengths behind world's best sprinter. That's all the best form that you really need for a race like this. As long as they have that same intent in my mind, as long as they don't go to the back and get stuck in the shuffle with all of these 18 horses. If Ethan Brown just does the same thing from the fourth barrier as well, can definitely do that, just goes forward, shows how good this horse can be, because we know that it is a very, very good horse when it wants to be. It's one of those horses that's like swings and roundabouts, goes away for a while, then pops up, reminds us how good he is, goes away for a while, and I think that's what's going to happen here. Hasn't had a win this prep. This is the win it's been building to. In fact, I'm going to joker it. Okay, I jokered Dorton Boy earlier in the spring, and I'm jokering Jimmy Star as well. I'm very confident that it gets the chockies here.
Love that, mate, and you're welcome for reminding you to use your jokers. So
yes, we'll skip to the Randwick Race 9, the Rose Hill Gold Cup.
How funny is that? Rose Hill Gold Cup over at Randwick. I'm going to keep it pretty simple here. Mason Louis for me. Great form behind Lindemann. Good enough for me, $4. Lindemann absolutely tearing it up at the moment. Only going to benefit from the extra 100 meters. But yeah, it's going to be Mason Louis.
I'm a big Rose Hill Gold Cup guy because it's at the 2,000 metre start at Rose Hill. And I don't know if I've mentioned this on the pod, but I'm a big 2,000 metre Rose Hill guy because when I go down there, I get to go over to the start and watch them jump. And I think 9 times out of 10, I'm winning when I go over there. It's just this little superstition that I have. I've won this race a few times before and I'm looking to win it again. But this time I've won it with a value. I'm going to have to worry about the favourite this time. Watton Verney, J-Mac Waller combo. Watton Bassett horse that loves this distance, 4 starts for 3 wins in a second. Okay, a horse that's really come out of nowhere was coming 8th at Goulburn at the start of this prep, and all of a sudden was running in benchmark 94 at Randwick, then jumps up to get put in a good steed at Sandown on grand final day behind Globe, who's come out and won a Might and Power Stakes. And ran all right, or could have run all right in a Cox Plate if there was a bit of pace in there, and then came out and won the Kunji. So, Watton Verney for me. Hopefully, J-Mac is coming off a win on Autumn Glow and is on top of the world and just keeps going on with the job here and gets another win for the day. Like I said, I'm all over him. I think I'm on like 5 of his rides, so hopefully he goes well for me, J-Mac. As we're going to jump over
to the Cashy Stakes.
Yeah, to the Cashmore Stud Stakes. Take us through this field first, though, mate.
1,200 metres, Coolmore Stud Stakes. You got Baywalked, your current favourite. You got McGaw. Oh, my God, I'm retarded. Can't say that, sorry. Tentris, $3.80. Tycoon Star, Skyhook, Hidden Motive, Raging Force, Jimmy Ricard, Legacy Bound, Beedman, Sky Glider, and My Gladiola.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, look, I think Skyhook, definite value chance. Some good races, good horses in this. I think I'm going to stick with Baywalked here. Won last start so nicely. Smashed them in front of Woden as well. And then even more form to go off. Just beat Steffi Mag in a trial, and that's form in itself. So $3.80 for Baywalked should get it done in my opinion. So good luck.
Sorry, I just realised it's not 5 for 5. I'm going for 6 for 6. 2020, September run.
God.
OG mock horse.
Damn.
2021, Home Affairs. 2022, In Secret. 2023, My Boy, Osmosis. Then last year, 2024, Switzerland. So I've gone 5 for 5 in this race. I'm looking 6 for 6. The Cashmore Stud Stakes. Bayvok will be hard to beat, as will Tentaris. But I'm actually going to look elsewhere in this race outside of these Godolphin horses. Reason being, the Golden Rose Roman Console form has been the form the last few years. It produced Switzerland, it produced Osmosis. Okay, Bayvokt obviously comes out of that Golden Rose, which has produced many a winner in subsequent runs, including, the Caulfield Guineas winner, including Tempted, who almost, won a Everest. But I'm looking at the Osmosis form. I'm looking at the Roman Console side of that form. I'm looking at Beedman. Okay. really good horse in the Queensland Winter, very similar to an Autumn Boy, who comes here now. A couple of really good starts in the same sort of like lead up that Osmosis had for this race. He's gone down to Melbourne and his straight work has been really, really good. He just looks absolutely trucking down that straight. $4.80. I'm quite keen on him to knock off these Godolphin horses. I will admit they will be very, very, very hard to beat. But I think if anything's going to beat it, it's one of two horses. It's Beedman, who I'm having on top. But my roughie of the day is Skyglider. Off the 1 week back up, won excellently for me last week. And just looked again like a nice, big, strong, professional colt that comes here under the radar, $19 to win, $4.20 to place. You rarely see a horse come here for its third start. You rarely see it come off the 1 week back up. Karen McAvoy has gone down there to follow it. I mean, I can't say that it's without its chances. So I'm happy to make it my roughie of the day, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it get up at all. But yeah, Beedman is the top tip for the Cashmore Stud Stakes. Skyglider, your best roughie in the race, and the best roughie bet around the day, in my opinion.
Fair enough, mate. Do we want to do Empire Rose first or straight into the Derby?
Yeah, we may as well. We'll save the Snooze Fest Derby for last. Empire Rose Stakes, take us through it.
Yeah, 1,600 metres, mate. You've got Pride of Jenny at $6, Fangirl, your favourite, Abounding, Damask Rose, Benegil, Like a Lucy, Lazura, Firestorm, Splashback, Idle Flyer, Backflyer, and On Display. Interesting. Like I said, it's going to be a bit of a... Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen here, really. You'd expect maybe a splashback, maybe. I don't know. Someone's got to go forward with Pride of Jenny.
Yeah, I would say probably anything from a Lazura, Abounding.
Yeah, maybe Abounding.
Maybe a splashback, maybe. But yeah, something will... The trainers aren't dumb anymore. The jockeys aren't dumb. Something's going to try and go with it.
Oh, she won. She only won 2 starts ago. Look,
Yeah,
she can win this race. She's not out of it for sure. I think you can keep her in there for, if you want. I think she'll finish closer than 7th. I can gladly say that. I think she'll get her way to the front a lot easier than she did last start in the King's Charles. I think Fangirl's on top for me. $3.40 is a great price when she's not racing against many great Group 1 level horses. I think the other horses here should be paying a lot more and she should be paying a lot less in my opinion. So $3.40 is a great price for me, Fangirl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Long-term listeners will know I am on Fangirl. I'm not on her with a huge amount of confidence, but I mean, I'm always going to be on her. She is my second favourite horse behind Via Sistina. But I mean, with good reason. She rarely puts a foot wrong. The last 2 failures she's had was the last 2 King Charles. Every other run she's had has been very, very decent. Apart from, actually, I will say, the Caulfield Cup, that Caulfield run in the Memsey, just because Caulfield's not her track. Definitely not her track. She had to go there just because they had to scratch her from that bottomless 10 for the Winx Stakes. But yeah, Fangirl, fact that Karen has to ride her instead of J-Mac, because J-Mac's usually always in Melbourne for this sort of day. That's the only knock, the fact that J-Mac's not on her.
Yeah. All right, mate. Derby time, 2,500 metres. Very disappointing.
I mean, it always is. Like, I know to the traditionalists it's Derby Day, but to us it is always going to be Golden Eagle Day.
Yeah.
Because it always usually ends up being the better race. The field this year is not great, but I mean, the Derby is very much so your traditionalist race. These 3-year-olds that have never gone this distance, fighting it out to go over this distance, and then most of them go on to do absolutely squat all after this. It is just not something that the young people get jazzed up about. More people get jazzed up about the Coolmore Stud Stakes than they do the Derby these days. That's the young ones. So, but take us through.
Observe is your favourite, $2.10. High Vol, Autumn Mystery, Maiwa, yeah. Options, Providence, Azazel, Akora, Oshimus, Amazake. Why am I giving an accent to all of them? Engine of War, Matsuda, One Step Closer, Savasanta, McWoody, Deal Done Fast, Arabian Prince, Freddie Bassett, Cracker Deal, and Super Paradise.
Why am I getting an accent all of a sudden? Oh, Christ. Well, I mean, Providence is probably the only horse that can beat Observer. Providence, I know, looks better than it needs to because of the way it closed off last time, but we know Observer, the race was over at 100. But still, the fact that Providence closed off really well, and you have to think, getting to a Flemington extra 500 metres, big track to stretch out, it'll have its chance. But, I mean, Observer has shown everything this prep to say that it should be pissing in here.
Yeah, Observer for me. I'm very, very keen on this. A lot of multis been playing into this for sure.
Oh, there's going to be tons of multi playing into this on the weekend.
All right,
Alrighty, mate. Let's do it. So, for those of you who have been waiting, it's time. Golden Eagle, 17 horses. We're going to go through them runner by runner. We're going to sort the pretenders from the contenders. Like I said, disappointing field considering what we could have had this year. So many good horses that aren't here. An Angel Capital, a Lady Shenandoah, a Treasure of the Moment, Alien, list goes on. But unfortunately, we've ended up with a couple of really good horses and then a long list of horses that have absolutely zero chance in this race. For those of you who are stat merchants, I'll go through 4 really key ones here because a lot of them pertain to Autumn Glow. Only one female has won this edition, but it's a young race, so, I mean, nothing to scream about. Only one favourite has won, though. This has been a race where a lot of favourites have gone under, and a lot of boom horses have gone under. Amelia's Jewel famously went under. Fangirl famously went under.
Hasn't been one like this, though.
That's a very good point. Only one horse has won from a double-digit barrier, and internationals have won 2 editions of the race, which might not sound like a lot, but again, it's a young field. I'm pretty sure this is the 7th running, so it's a 33% strike rate for your internationals. And they've won 2 of the last 3 as well. So take with that what you will. Mate, like I said, I can judge the field all I want, but let's just have a look at it.
Yeah, get straight into it. Evaporate is your number 1 horse. You got Feroce at 51. You got Linebacker at $6. You got Sepples at 17. This is all on Dabble. Willie Do It at 17. You got Fully Lit at 34. You got Depth of Character at 101. Lord Penman at 71. Mayfair at 81. Shangri-La Spring at 71. Crystal Clear at 100. Panja Tower, your Japanese horse, at $6. Seagulls 11. Sorry, at $26. Your Irish horse Autumn Glow at $2.10. Perfumist at $17. Modella at 101. Eclair on Core at 100 or 200 to 1.
Yes, mark it there on Dabble. Use code MOX Sports if you're signing up to let them know we sent you. Set a deposit limit. Think about what you could be buying instead when doing so. But plenty of bets going on Dabble this weekend. Let's have a look at the speed map now, mate. I mean, the leaders are likely to be Perfumist from that inside barrier to kick up. Fully Lit has to come from a bit of a wider barrier, but it's going to need to be at the front if it wants to factor. Crystal Clear probably going to push forward as well, as does Shangri-La Spring and Mayfair from their wider barriers there. Linebacker, Evaporate, Sepples, Feroce, Autumn Glow, Eclair on Core, Panja Tower, Seagulls 11, and Depth of Character, all to probably make up the midfield. I think, though, that those internationals probably more towards the back of the midfield, whereas those linebackers, Evaporates, Autumn Glows, more at the top of the midfield, closer to that off-pace sort of position there. And then to be coming from the back is your Lord Penmans, your Modellas, and your Willie Do-Its. Well, let's go through runner by runner now, mate. The number 1 horse in the field, Evaporate. The Hayes Boys trains. Nash Rural is going to ride from barrier 7, $11 to win. Pretender or contender?
Look, I'll be honest. I think it's one of the better chances out of not too many that I give a chance, but I don't think it's going to win, so it's got to be a pretender for me. There's just better chances. I just don't like horses that travel up for a lot of these races, and Evaporate is one of them here at $11. It's just not one for me to have.
Yeah, look, decent enough horse in ripping form this prep, and his form has been franked multiple times, especially with Transatlantic last weekend, absolutely killing his opponents. But I think gives me Tom Kitten vibes from last year, because this horse is in good form and will love the long straight and really being able to stretch out in those final stages. I think he's going to absolutely fly in the last 100 metres and snag a place or come into that first 4, but I just don't see him winning. Like Tom Kitten jumped out of the ground those last stages and went, oh my God, like Tom Kitten could win this thing, but just snuck into the placings in the end. I think Evaporate's similar, so Pretender for me.
For Rose.
Yeah, Sutton trains, Josh Parr rides from barrier 10, 51-1.
Yeah, Pretender, let's be honest. There's better chances for sure. Don't even think it's much of an exotic play, to be honest.
Yeah, look, won the Australian Guineas in the autumn, but hasn't done a whole lot since. Best result would be his 1 length third to Sepples in the Rupert Clark Stakes. Do think he's probably a bit overlooked in the market at 50s. If you shopped around, I'm sure you'd get a decent price for maybe a top 6. Fail to see him winning. I reckon top 6 is his ceiling, which you'll hear for a few horses here. We move to number 3, linebacker. O'Shea and Charlton ride. They train. Lloyd sticks with the ride out of barrier 5, 6-1, 2 to place. What do you reckon?
Pretender for me here, mate.
Wow.
This is a big call, and I think a lot of people won't like it as usual. I really liked him at the 1300, and he went back down. I think he struggled the start before at the 1400, and he at the 1600 as well. He's proven that he's hasn't looked the best, especially against some better horses. I understand this field is a lot weaker, but I just think the jump up to the 1500 from the 1300 last start is going to be too much for him, and he will be there, and I think he'll be in a place chance for sure, but I just don't see him getting on top of Autumn Glow.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to disagree with you there and say Contender. I think he is literally the only Aussie horse that could potentially beat Autumn Glow. So that spoils a lot of the rest of what I think of the rest of the field. But, I mean, he had trial lovers absolutely frothing in the mouth when he beat Cutting Rising Home, and then everyone loaded into him in the Silver Eagle. We tried to get him beat, and he just didn't get beat. He was that good and comes here with a bit of style. I mean, I know what you're thinking there when it comes to the shorter distance. He's a Randwick Guineas winner at 1600, and I mean, he did finish a length off in the Doncaster, but that Doncaster run was with 49 kilos on his back. It's a handicap. He's up to the set weights here. I see what you mean there. I think a case can be made with that when you're looking at the weights, but I just do think that if any Australian horse is going to beat Autumn Glow, it's going to be this one. Draws well, will be one of the strongest late. Yeah. We go to Sepples. Brown trains, Brown rides out of barrier 6, 17-1. Pretender or Contender?
Contender for me. I think one of the better roughy chances that can get it done. Forgiving the last start in the 2-rack, but winning the Sir Rupert Clark was very impressive. And yeah, I think at that price, I'd be very, very happy to have a ticket on it, and I think it's a chance. It's a sneaky chance, but it's a chance.
I'm saying Pretender here. The Rupert Clark win was good, holding off the late challenges. But again, we look at weight, 52 kilos in that race, and then jumped back up to, more weight for age, and then now set weights. I mean, also didn't help that it got horribly checked and picked up a leg injury. Apparently he's recovered well enough to line up here. I just question how healthy he is. He was close to being a contender for me, but I think he's going to need to be at 110% to beat Autumn Glow. I doubt that he is, hence Pretender. We move to number 5, Will He Do It? Mayer trains, Clark rides out of barrier 11. Again, another 17-1 chance.
Pretender for me. Disappointing so far, I think. This start would have wanted him up a lot closer near Headley, Grange and Gringotts in that last start for it to be a contender. So Will He Do It? Pretender for me.
Yeah, Pretender as well for me. He's a big boy that's always flashing late, but I think that's because much like Kovalika, who was forced to go down this path when he was 4, he's more of a 2,000 metre horse. He won a derby, so he's going to be more of a stay-up, but yet because there's the money in the Golden Eagle path, let's send him there. I think he'll be running on again without threatening the win too much. As we move to number 6, Fully Lit for the Waterhouse and Bot Camp. Bayless rides here, 14th barrier at $34 to win. Pretender or Contender?
Pretender, but great exotics chance. I think. Yeah, I really like him for an exotics. As you can see, he's got some great form running around. I can't see him winning, but He ran very well behind Autumn Glow last start, 1.5 lengths. Newcastle start for that. Headley Grange, 1.8 lengths behind. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. But that's good enough for me. I think there's enough there that you can play some exotics for sure. I know there might be a couple of bookies that put out the same market for paying out for second. I know they haven't been in the last couple of weeks. But I know people did for this last race with Autumn Glow and got a nice hefty ticket out for $31 when it won. So Pretender, but let's have a look.
I'm going to go completely the opposite to you and say serious unders here. I'd have him marked way wider. And I say that very much knowing that he's got the Headley Grange form and he's got that Autumn Glow form. Second in an Epsom, I don't sniff my nose at. But again, I'm going back to the weight. Was carrying just 50 kilos that day. Carries 7.5 kilos more today. Meets Autumn Glow with a 6.5 kilo weight swing. So he is in a purple patch career-wise, but with that weight jump plus the sticky barrier, I cannot see him figuring in the finish. Happy to be wrong, but though. Number 7, depth of character. Archibald team trains. Colt's going to ride. Barrier to 100 to 1.
Yeah, no chance. Much to say, Pretender.
I mean, it's like I said, this is probably the worst edition we've had here because the field's fallen away because all the 4-year-olds have gone elsewhere, which I know the traditionalists will love, but us Golden Eagle enthusiasts hate. He's 100 to 1 for a reason. Only managed third twice in 8 starts at Randwick. Collett maintains he has a good chance and has stuck right with him for that reason, but just simply isn't going good enough to make up all of that ground. The Pen, mate, Lord Penman. Yeah, the Magic Man, Marrera, comes over to ride the Pen at 71 to 1 for the Waller Camp out of barrier 16. What are your thoughts?
Pretender, I think the only thing that really would have helped would have been a nice barrier draw. Draws the absolute car park, 16th barrier. No chance. I wouldn't even say it's going to run close in the end, unfortunately, with this barrier.
Well, I'm saying Pretender, but another one where I'd like to say go around, find a top 6 price, could potentially sneak into your first 4. Solid second in the Silver Eagle, good jockey booking, certainly has him in a chance to at least finish in the exotics. I don't think he wins, but yeah, I mean, has the right form behind an Autumn Glow and a linebacker to at least be putting in a decent run. As we move to number 9, Mayfair, Baker trains, Gibbons rides, 15th barrier, 81 to 1.
Pretender, love your deal, but yeah, not going to happen. Don't think it's going to. No chance.
Another one that I could see sneaking a place or run in top 4. Win, no. Top 6, huge chance. As we move to number 10, Shangri-La Spring, Waterhouse and Bot Train, Schiller ride, 17th barrier, 71 to 1.
Yeah, another Pretender coming out, car park, same reasons. Can't get done.
Any chance was gone when he drew 17th barrier in my mind because he needs to be as close as he is to the front to do any sort of damage, and he is going to burn way too much petrol trying to get there to his preferred spot. As we move to number 11, a horse that I just cannot believe is in this race. Again, I can't wait to see it win now for the Archibald team. Knock rides, crystal clear, barrier 13, 100 to 1.
Pretender, shop around it for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs well and top 5, top 6, get a bit of prize money. Can see why they've done it for sure. But yeah, shop around it, but can't win.
Should be 300 to 1. You're not going to bounce out of a benchmark 88 heavy loss and then win the Golden Eagle. We finally get back to contender territory. Number 12, the Japanese import. You love a Japanese in the Golden Eagle, Nicko. Panjatawa with the Hashiguchi team. Matsuyama rides.
Oh, Mr. Hashiguchi.
Yeah, that guy.
Mr. Hashiguchi, yes.
Yeah, know him well. One of my top 3 trainers in Japan, at least. My top 3 favorite trainers.
Is my favorite.
Barrier 4, $6 to win, $2 to place.
Yeah, contender. They do have a great middle distance horses coming out of Japan, which we've seen in past years in the Golden Eagle. Obam, which was great. Leading contender behind Autumn Glow. I know that kind of gives it away a bit later, but for good reason. They've proved it. It's not too much of a travel from Japan down to Australia, so they get taken pretty good care of. So
they do. Always respect them. Last year's Boom Japanese didn't do too much. It was drawn horribly, though, Ascoli Piccioni. And then the year before that, the Boom Japanese came out and won No Bamburamai. So
good price
Japs,
as well.
they're 1 for 2 in the race. This horse gets 4th barrier, gets to settle wherever he damn pleases. Like I said, I predict that he goes back a slight bit. But I mean, if it wants to push forward, by all means, go right ahead. Seems to have settled into Australian conditions supremely well. They say down there at the yard, it's like he's lived here all his life. Despite his best form being over shorter distances than this, definitely can factor into the finish if it gets the breaks. As we move to the other international raider, number 13, great name for a horse, Seagulls 11 for the Palmer. Camp Marquand rides, barrier 3, 26 to 1. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Pretender for me. Not my favourite international chance. A lot of debate going around over on social media at the moment about English horses and the way that they're set up and how much better they are than Australian horses. I don't know if you've seen it, but at this distance, I don't see them getting it done. Seagulls 11. Pretender.
I mean, UK Raider won the race last year. There's no reason whatsoever this one can't win. I'm saying Contender, serious wild card in my opinion. He's won over the mile. He has form around last year's win of Lake Forest. Loves the softer conditions. Can definitely win in my mind. Do I think it's going to beat Autumn Glow? No. Spoiler for my next tip because I feel like we're both going to have Autumn Glow on top, but I think it's one of those horses that's going to potentially win without shock, in my opinion. As we get to the girl in question, Autumn Glow, Baby Winks, they call her. Chris Waller McDonald kicks Karen McAvoy off and says, thanks for keeping my seat warm. You can go down to Melbourne and take all my rides because I'm in Sydney for her. Barrier 9, $2.10 to win. What are your thoughts?
Contender hasn't put a foot wrong, even when challenged in the Epsom. Got it done grittily as well. She should get it done, drawn nicely, probably a little bit closer to the fence she would have liked, but she can get everything done from there and she can do it. J-Mac, grand final winner, Autumn Glow. I don't know. It's got to be in a multi for everyone on the day.
I know, it's call us boring, but I always say it, and it's very not very often that the horses of this caliber when I say this, because usually these are horses that are running through benchmarks that I say this, but when horses find this form and they are unbeaten, you've just got to back them till they fail. Okay? She might come out on the weekend and run flat, but you've just got to be on her in my mind. Until she fails, you've got to be on her every single start because she could be anything. You can still argue that she's not the best horse in Australia because who has she really beaten? But she could just be the next Winks. Everyone and their mum wants this horse to continue on this run because the racing world needs another Winks. Okay? She should just get to the right spot from that 9th barrier. J-Mac will press the button when he needs to. She's going to dig and dig and dig just as she's done all prep, and she's going to get the job done because winners win. And I know our haters love it when we say that because they're straight onto us in the comments saying we have no idea what we're talking about. But, mate, winners do win, and you just got to be on it. As we move to 15th, Perfumist, Baker trains for King out of barrier 1, 17 to 1. What are your thoughts?
Pretender. Interesting, this one. I've been seeing a lot of talk on social media about this horse, about running some better times than Autumn Glow's been running, and obviously falling behind Idle Flyer last start is good form to go off. But interesting one. Another one that I think will be up and around, but I just don't see her being up on top. So it's going to be Pretender for me, but you can shop around her for sure.
Yeah, going to look dangerous for a long way. Sole leader, potentially, even if Fully Lit doesn't get all the way over there, because it's from the inside barrier, we know that this horse likes to even do like a Pride of Jenny style leading sometimes, where it just goes as hard as it possibly can and says, try and stay with me. You'd have to think she eventually fades in a high-pressure race like this, and with an Autumn Glow chasing her down, I think it's a step up compared to an Idle Flyer that she's been running with the last couple of starts. So I just can't see her beating Autumn Glow. Place is her best chance. Pretender for me. As we move to a couple of, I think, going to be pretenders here. Modella, Chad Schofield rides for the Curtis Camp at barrier 12.
Yeah, Pretender. I thought these two were literally You'd think they're emergencies if you didn't know, because this is obviously like a 4-year-old race.
I know. Again,
everyone knows.
Everyone knows that it's a 4-year-old race. You would think these guys are not the best 4-year-olds going around. How are they in this field? Meant to be an 18-horse field with 4 emergencies, but we didn't even get there.
No.
17 horses flat, Pretender, and then Eclair Encore. I know one person out there, Claire Winter, shout out to you. You're going to be having $1 on this just because of its name. Jay Ford rides, Chris Lee's trains. Thoughts?
Pretender, same again.
Yeah. Would be very, very shocking to see it win. So, mate, I think we've both spoiled our tip, but who are you on and why?
Autumn Glow, who I'm on, top 4 across the line. I don't think I need to explain why I'm on Autumn Glow. I think everyone should be, and if you're not, at least have her in some kind of multi during the weekend. I think you're stupid if you don't. Autumn Glow, I've got Sepples running in second. I've got Panja Tower finishing in third, and then I think Perfume is finishing in fourth.
Fair enough. I've said what I've needed to say. I've said what I've needed to say. Autumn Glow, back her till she fails. Get around her, get on the train. She could just announce herself as the country's best horse on the weekend, and by this time next year, she could be just anything. She could be Australia's favourite horse. She's already almost its most marketable horse. We're desperate for her to just keep building this picket fence, and I think the only thing that somehow beats her is the same thing that a couple of boom favourites have happened to them in this race, and that's she just gets blocked off and she doesn't get a clear lane to the line. If J-Mac gets those elbows out and gets her a clear lane to the line, she is going to win this race. She is just too good. Back her till she fails because you just don't know how good she is. First 4 over the lines, Autumn Glow, Panja Tower to run a flashing second, line backer to look really dangerous until Autumn Glow runs it down, and then Seagulls 11 to sneak through there. Kind of like what Lake Forest did last year, but instead of actually getting up, just manages a placing. It's literally Autumn Glow, linebacker in the internationals. The only 4 that I've said is a contender. They're the only 4 I can see factoring in the finish, so I'm going to stick with them with my first 4.
Awesome, mate.
Alrighty. It's been the longest pod so far that we've ever done, I think. So please, guys, thank you for sticking around. Have you found anything around the grounds other than the feature races?
I haven't really, mate. Race 5, the only one I really like is Zoo Sensation at $5 over in Melbourne, just getting on top of King Zephyr last start.
Fair enough. I'm going for King Zephyr in race 5. So hopefully it gets up there. And then Vinrock, I'm going back to the Vinrock well, $4.40 in the first at Flemington. There is a horse in the 3rd or 4th at Flemington. I'm just going to check. It's the race that is the Wakeful that's leading up to the Oaks next week. Get a Good Feeling is $1.65. If you like this horse, don't get on it on Saturday. Get on it for the Oaks. All right. It'll drop from $4 that it is currently into, you'd think, $2.50. So if you like that horse, get on it in the futures for the Oaks instead. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. The Quaddies, take us through them, mate.
Over at Randwick, race number 7, you got Briasa, Jimmy Star, Private Eye, and Lady Shenandoah. That's 1, 2, 4, 12. Race 8, Autumn Glow and Panja Tower. That's 12 and 14. Race 9, Faulkner Park, Mason Louis, Watson Verney, and Imperialist. That's 1, 4, 6, 10. Race 10, Polyglot, Golden Strand, Money Team, and Verbal. That's 1, 7, 8, 12. $50 gets you 40%, just under. Got a bit more percentage as we've had a couple of wins in the quaddie this year and there's been no profit there. So we're going with a bit more percentage. Flemington.
I'm also just going to quickly say I'm going to be playing on Dabble. Use code MOXSports. Gamble responsibly when doing so. I'll be playing a favourites only quaddie as well at Randwick, just in case they all get up because they're 4 very good favourites there.
Yeah. Flemington, race 6, you got Baywalk, 10, Terrace, Beedman, Skyhook, and Skyglider, 1, 3, 5, 10, 11. Race 7, Observer and Providence, that's 2 and 6. Race 8, Fangirl, Pride of Jenny, Like a Lucy, and Abounding, 1, 2, 3, 6. Race 9, Generosity, Arabian Summer, Soft Love, and She's Bulletproof, 2, 3, 6, 13. $50 will get you 41, pretty much 42%, which will be good. So, yeah, best bet around the country, mate. I think we know where you're going to go, but what are you going with?
It's in the Russell Balding, Randwick Race 7, Jimmy Star. I've joked him for a reason. I just think that form behind Carrying Rising is too hard to ignore, but they need to have that intent to go forward. I think if it goes forward, it's all over. Jimmy Star just wins.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with... I'll go with Fangirl. I think she's my best of the day.
Damn, that's so weird hearing it come out of your mouth instead of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roughie of the day for me, I'm going to go for Sepples in the Golden Eagle at $19. There's not many roughies out there this week, I think, but that's my best chance. Even for a place at $3.60 is pretty good.
I'm the same. There are not many good roughies out there apart from Sky Glider in the Cashmore Stud Stakes. Again, I do have Beedman on top, but I really do think that Sky Glider could run a cheeky race, so I'll be putting some money on it. And wow, we come to the end of what will be our longest pod ever. It's almost an hour and a half now. We do thank you so much for sticking around. If you have, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, put that follow button, rate us 5 stars, all the things that you have been doing and getting around us this spring. We're coming to the close in the next few weeks, but still busy times. Cup Pod, Sunday, 12 p.m, midday. Be here, live, the Mock Sports YouTube. The pod that if you're only going to listen to one all year, make sure it's that one. And then obviously Champions Day next week. Then we go off to the provincial tracks for a few weeks before wrapping up. Oh, love spring.
How good, lads. Good luck this weekend. We will catch you on Sunday. How good is that? Great to hear. We'll see you guys.
And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is